Greetings and salutations.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
How's everyone doing? It's Wednesday night. It's the midweek chat with myself and Inner Guardians, aka Master Lee. How's it going?
Salutations, everybody.
Salutations. We get rid of that screen. It seems to have jammed. That's rather disappointing. Well, it's already shaping up to be quite an interesting week, mate. And we're only halfway through once again. And As everyone that's been following us knows, the show coming up this week is quite a big show, quite an important show.
Indeed.
Episode number 33. And for everyone that's watching, big up everyone that's been watching us from the start. Yeah, a lot of thoughts gone into this episode, like what it should contain. Because it's not just going to be about the number 33. That's that's probably something we should start off with.
Yeah, I just want to quickly apologise. I was actually trying to get the lighting, so I was showing one eye.
Oh right, okay. Is that why we were 6 minutes late past our already 1 hour late start time?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, rise above time, fashionably late at the end of the day. I did go for 4 screens, so it's no. Didn't like it. So yeah, what are we going to be talking about this week, Lee? I'm going to go. It's not going to be all about Freemasonry. Let me just get that out on the table straight away.
Sure.
I'm going to do. This is my plan for the show, and I want to know what you think. I'm going to start the show off with my crash course. I'm going to try and give the gist of Freemasonry, what it is, what it isn't. If it's a belief system, what do they believe? What do they teach? What are the secret teachings of it? And obviously, it's centered around this number because we've showcased this number quite a lot, especially in the news in the news section of the show, the first sort of section each week. But then we want to go a little bit deeper, and this is where you're going to come in. Okay.
Okay.
We want to.
How deep do you want to go?
We want to go the full way because I'm going to end off my presentation with a little surprise. A surprise for everyone that's been listening from the start. Some of them might already know, but some of them are going to be surprised by what I'm going to tell them. Because a lot of people have got a lot of misconceptions about what Freemasonry is, about what the Freemasons believe, about what they teach. Is it satanic? Is it Luciferian? Is it just secret handshakes? But before I hand it over to you, I'm going to drop a bit of a bomb on people. But when I do hand it over to you, I want you to go absolute whole rabbit about not just the significance of this particular number and why this number is very powerful, but also if we are seeing it because it's deliberately being woven into stories, what is the aim? Or what do they think the aim is, if that's what's happening? I'd like you to go into the mechanisms of those who would do this and why and how they believe it would have a change, or if that's what because everything's on the table. Are they doing it to create a change? Are they doing it for this reason, that reason? Are we just being paranoid conspiracy theorists?
Possibly all of the above. As I mentioned in the week, it's correct that this shouldn't all be about the Freemasons. Now, everything is not necessarily all about the Freemasons, and the number 33 is definitely not all about the Freemasons. For the most part, a lot of the Freemason stuff has already been usurped or hijacked or borrowed from other systems, particularly Hermeticism and various other Egyptian paths, or with Egyptian origins, even Atlantis. Depends on how far back you want to go.
We'll take it all the way back to some prehistoric rabbit hole.
Yeah, and also what I'm going to bring is I'm actually going to explain why some people can see what's going on and get the gist of things, and why others can't. So I'm going to go into the mechanics of that. Now, potentially, it could be the most important show so far, possibly
to manage to build
of all
a topic
time.
each week. Yeah, it's always a hard act to follow what come the week before, and some of our naysayers, you're always patting yourselves on the back. It's because we're genuinely pleased about having the ability to put these ideas on the table and actually have a chat about them. Because like we've discussed before, I think that's what we're doing differently. We're not giving you instructional videos about this subject or that subject. We're putting things on the table and we're dissecting them, opening them up, looking what's inside, and splaying it across the table for everyone to see.
Yeah. And just to add to what I've already spoken about, something that's very, very important to get the gist of is that in the end, it comes down to you. not them or they. And this is something that I've seen as a real problem in the so-called truth movement or community, that there's not enough emphasis placed. Well, there can be some emphasis placed, but there's not enough solutions placed on the first person. And what can they actually do about everything else that's going on around? Like we've explained many times, we've described the prison walls very, very well, and the prison guards for the most part.
Yeah,
No.
identifying the prison guards, talking about their history.
Yeah. Now, what are we going to do about it? How do we evoke any form of ability to do rather than things just happen to us? How do we take the correct position of the first person? And this is all linked to the numbers 33, which I
Yeah.
will go into detail on Friday.
Yeah. So what we're really trying to do is, like I said, we don't want to concentrate on the number. We don't want to concentrate on Freemasonry or what they believe. We don't even want to concentrate just on how it relates to the current situation, because it does. We actually want to concentrate on the solution. And
Yeah.
I hope on Friday, it's going to take a big table to do this on Friday. I might get Homer Beats to build an extension. Hopefully we can lay enough out, because I want to come to some conclusions and some instructions to go forward. Because this is always the thing with the truth movement. Everyone always says, that's all great. You can describe how bad things are forever. Where are the solutions?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's actually very, very simple. I mean, it is as simple as 3 and 3, or 33.
Oh,
That's why it's so important. Or that's why the numbers are used. It's kind of almost like a mocking that everybody should already know these things. The stuff I'm going to bring to the table, well, if you get the gist of it and understand it, it should and could revolutionize your existence
rise
right
above.
now and moving forwards. Yeah.
Gosh. Still haven't had a chance to make any new jingles yet. We're really wearing these ones out. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, okay, for any new viewers, yeah, we do like to put a fun spin on these serious topics. And that's important. I think that is important. Makes it more palatable. No one wants to sit at the table if the conversation is serious and boring all the time and gloomy.
Yeah, but that's one of the unique things about Rise Above live streams is that, and it's very important that you have a sense of humor. It's a very, very important aspect. It's the lubrication of your soul.
Ooh, I like that. Lubricate your soul. Lubricate your passage through this dense vibrational covert realm with humour.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say last Friday about, being a peaceful inhabitant wandering around this realm in the pursuit of happiness?
Yeah.
It's almost a crime to be in the pursuit of happiness, or it's been kind of corrupted as though you're some kind of hedonist.
It's
but
slowly
then-
being criminalised. The pursuit of natural happiness, yeah, it's definitely being criminalised, I think.
Yeah, and this is, I don't want to give too much away, but as an example, there's 3 ingredients to the full spectrum of happiness.
Always come back to that number, the power of 3,
Yeah,
the trivium.
the trivium. Yeah,
Yeah. It
bit of a
applies.
clue.
Okay, yeah, let's not give too much away on this particular subject. Let's have a little. I always attempt to make some notes for Wednesday, but the best thing is I never do. And I think that's a format we should always have Wednesday. No structure,
Yeah.
just a chat. Football. We've all seen the it was last night, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, the game was last night.
I believe so. I didn't
yeah.
watch it myself.
I walked through the living room. Captain Buffton was watching it. He had it on, a little bit of Bread and Circuses. He's not normally a Bread and Circuses fan, but he had it on. I've got to be honest. When they first scored, what was it? I think that's 15 minutes left or something. Apparently, when I heard, they scored, the first thing I thought, well, okay, Germany have got like 13 minutes to equalise, and then we'll go to penalties. Because I don't care about saying this. I didn't want them to win. And I will explain why.
Who was playing?
It was
in
England
like-
versus Germany.
Gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I must be
didn't
really
know.
off grid.
I did not know that until the game had already started last night. I walked into the front room and there was football, and I was like, "Oh, but you're watching the foot." He's like, "Yeah, it's England versus Germany." I was like, "Isn't it like a tournament at the moment?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the Euros." I was like, "Shit,
Is that a good sign or bad sign?
what? That
That
they
we didn't
won?
know. No, that we didn't know England
That
were
we
playing
didn't
Germany.
know. I don't know. It depends what your value system is, I guess. I
Okay.
think a lot of people would hear that that two men like us didn't even know England was playing Germany in the Euros last night until
Heretics.
yeah, well, absolute sacrilege, I guess would be the word.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I think there's more important things to think about at the moment, and I already don't have enough hours in the day to think about those things as it is. So I've got no time for bread and circuses at the moment. Hey, I'm not saying there's a problem with enjoying things. Certainly not. There's certainly nothing wrong with football or watching it. I would just say that, and I said this in a Facebook post, I just wish that those who expend so much essence on something so trivial would would do the same for the biggest threat that anyone's faced in living history. That's the only way I can conceptualize it. If only, an ounce of that expenditure, that emotional discharge, that pure raging aggression.
Yeah.
If only we could get a little bit of that.
The battle aura.
The battle aura. Yeah, talk about the battle aura a little bit.
Well, it comes from that Facebook post I did. I think it was today or yesterday. It's just like animation, and it features somebody who is oozing their battle aura. It's been activated, and I just thought it was fitting. It literally, I was going through some images that I've got, and it popped up, and I thought, yeah, I need to share that one. It's very fitting because of the situation that we find ourselves in. Now, although I know there's no guns, there's no tanks, we haven't got anybody kicking the door down.
Quiet wars for silent weapons in the Guardians.
Exactly, yeah. So also, I made a post earlier on in the week regarding quite possibly the study and practice of martial arts is really important, probably more important now than it has been in recent history for many reasons.
Yeah. Self mastery and self discipline, absolutely essential.
Yeah,
To
and
survive what's
if you
gonna come.
can't, for whatever reason, if you can't practice martial arts, then at least get a copy or read online something like The Art of War.
Sun Tzu.
Yeah, I mean everything's in there, everything that you
Yeah.
need to know,
Yeah.
and it also includes a lot of things that are being done to us. That book is still used. It's
Oh,
actually
what
used
you
for
so you're
social
saying
engineering.
the tactics in Sun Tzu's The Art of War is actually being used against us by the Union?
Oh yes, definitely yes. Yeah.
Well,
So, for
it's
instance,
like,
people ask me what to read. There's a heads up. Start with Art of War.
well, let's bring it back to the subject, right? Because a lot of, and I've seen in comments, right, there are people that watch our show for the first time and are actually put off by the fact that we have occult imagery.
Okay.
They've watched the show and it's the rising sun. I've seen white rabbits, and I've always been the feeling it's like, well, look, if the evildoers have occulted some knowledge and they're using it against us, which is sort of a 101 conclusion from looking at this stuff. Well, for me, the first thing you should do is learn what they know to protect yourself. To
Sure.
give you the ability to know what your opponent knows. Well, you know, when you would study an opponent to go and fight in the cage, or the octagon, or the ring, what's the first thing you do?
Yeah, you study the opponent,
Absolutely,
strategy and tactics.
yeah. So for anyone that's watching, that we're supposed to be do-gooders on the show, and trying to help, spread the truth. Why are you doing a show called 33? Why have you got the Rising Sun? Why do you talk about occultism? Why do you study the occult? You need to study your opponent, because they've been studying this and occulting the knowledge for themselves for, like we said, thousands of years.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of these things, I mean, a lot of the things, whether it's symbols, objects, they're only as important as the energy or the attention that you place upon them. Now, there is a form of like reversing the power by actually using them in the form of kind of comedy, or not, I wouldn't say mockery, but you can actually use their weapons against them.
Yeah.
It's like, for instance, if somebody calls you a name that you don't like, now you could get really offended, really upset. But if you totally take away their power or disempower them,
Yeah.
if you actually say, if you say it yourself, as an example,
Yeah.
it's a way of diffusing certain things.
I've used that tactic a couple of times when I've spoke about BLM, when I spoke about cultural Marxism, and the first retort to people that are infected with the malware is, "You're a white supremacist. You're supporting white supremacy." And I just, I have a good laugh at, yeah, I'm a leading white supremacist. Check my profile. Look at the people I hang around with. Look at my influences. Look at my output. I'm a leading white supremacist. Absolutely. And it's like, yeah, take the power away.
Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of
White
relates to what you've been saying. Also, I think with these things, they can be used as a form of avoidance. So rather than listening to what you're actually saying, they focus or their attention or they're identifying with a symbol, which is kind of like that's what they're designed for. So they're missing the content.
Yeah.
Then what was it what Bruce Lee said about the finger pointing to the moon? Don't look at the finger, look at the moon.
Yeah, that's very good. I haven't heard that one before, funnily enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which movie, possibly Enter the Dragon. And he points towards the moon, but the student's looking at his finger. And I believe I think he clips him around the ear or something. And he says, yeah, he says, look at the moon, don't look at the finger, or else you'll miss all of the heavenly glory.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't quoted it word for word, but that was the gist of it.
Yeah, that's the gist. That's what we go for. That's the most important thing. Big up everyone tuned in. So who have we got in the comment section here? Junip Hengerstone, you're new. Big up yourself. Marky Boy, hello. Deb Allen, Sasha English. Big up everyone tuned in. It's the midweek chat. It's a little touch base with everyone. Because Friday's always a leviathan of a show. And it's a bit like a roller coaster sometimes. We press live on a Friday and everyone just holds on here. There's DJ music going on. So it's nice to have a bit more laid back a chat to chew the cud of the rabbit rather than get the chainsaw out on a big carcass and start ripping it apart.
Are we going for 33 hours?
33. Restream only allows 10 hours. Our record so far is 7 hours 20 minutes, which was episode 31.
Right, we have to finish on however many hours it is. We'll finish on 33 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to.
We'll try.
6 hours 33 minutes. We'll go for. Yeah. I think that's fitting.
And can you get your DJs to play?
We've got a special tune to kick off with.
33-minute slots or.
Yeah, we'll do 33 minutes. Yeah, but the problem is that's all well and good, but you've seen what my DJs are like. It's like, right, 2 more tunes. 5 tunes later, that is the last one, and he's already queuing up the next tune. I can't complain. It's great to have Oma Beats and Magic's in tow. They've really brought something. Apart from the fact that most of this that we can see here has been built by Oma Beats as well.
No, it's great having the music. I enjoy it. It's good to have a break.
Yeah.
It's a lot different to, I must say, it's a lot different to some of the esoteric groups that I've been in.
We try to keep things a little bit lighter. It's more fun. Hey, listen, part of the reason that I've done this, apart from the obvious because of what's going on, is because I got sick of searching through YouTube, trying to find good creators, trying to find people that were putting out, firstly, good information, well produced. There was something on the screen for you to look at rather than just some dude talking with a blank screen or an image.
Yeah.
And I just thought no one, that's how I started off making my videos. But when it comes to the live stream, I looked around and I thought, well, what is there? What is there that's a long form live stream with people in the studio, with a proper studio, that are talking about stuff like this, and people are going to laugh at this. But do you know who I looked at? Do you know who Steve Crowder is?
No.
He's like a Canadian YouTuber, but mainstream. He's worth $3 million, and he's sort of like a conservative, mainstream, pro-gun American pundit. And he has this thing called Louder with Crowder. He broadcasts like 4 hours a day, and it's a studio with him, three of his friends over here, two guys in the back. He's got his lawyer on the show as well all the time, and it's whether you agree with him or not. That was the format that I tried to bring with Rise Above. So a good-looking studio, interesting guests, team members that are going to bring something. I didn't want the show just to be about me.
Yeah.
There's only so much I can go on about just with what I know and about what I've done. So I wanted to provide a platform, and I'm really pleased with the way it's going. And I know we've got a lot of new viewers, so big up everyone. Especially we've got so many new viewers in the US, in Canada, in Europe. There was people from Austria emailing me, and for everyone that's emailed me and stuff that I haven't got back to or haven't mentioned on the show that I said I would, I'm really sorry, but I can barely keep up with it. Apart from trying to keep up with what's going on as well.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
quite relentless at the moment.
Going back to the music aspect, which I think is a very important part. Now, I was actually in a group for a while, and they made an exercise that was only allowed to listen to classical music. That was for about a year. So it's like an exercise. So I don't know if what would your viewers do if we just played Mozart and Beethoven?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people would enjoy it, but when we played the more chilled, laid-back hip-hop, we're starting to get a few complaints like, oh, this is too slow, I need something upbeat. For our next musical feature, which I think should probably be the week after this show, I want to try and get a guest DJ, but I don't want it to be drum and bass. I'd like it to either be sort of like conscious hip-hop or maybe garage or something like that. I want to mix it up a little bit.
Well, it could be connected to the lockdowns. I mean, look, I don't know. For a lot of people, they haven't probably been out much for the last 16 months.
I honestly, I know from emails and from comments for some people, and if I wasn't sat here on a Friday night making this show, and I found out Rise Above exists, damn right I'd tune in every Friday. It's like, what, apart from a couple of decent series that you can seek out on Prime or something, avoiding Netflix,
Yeah.
there's nothing else to watch.
Well, there is
You
a good technique of creation or creating or creativity, which is to produce something that you would actually buy yourself or that you would actually listen to or watch.
Mate,
For
that's
instance,
something I've always done with all of my art. I've tried to create
yeah,
what I would enjoy myself, and hopefully someone else enjoys it.
yeah, I mean, I did that with the martial arts. I went to all these different systems and styles and whatever, and I couldn't find the one that I thought was how I wanted it to be or how it would be if I created it. So that I actually set the aim many, many years ago to actually create my own martial art, which I did. In,
And what was it
two,
called?
in 2000, when I came back from Japan, it was actually the Japanese that gave me the name. We called it Senjutsu.
Senjutsu.
Yeah. Senjutsu, it means, well, it can mean many things, but the context, it means battle tactics.
Battle tactics.
Yeah.
So it's as well as physical fighting, it's mental preparation as well, I guess.
Yeah, it's everything. Yeah. Yeah, it's a combination of karate, jiu-jitsu, ninjutsu, some weapons, and also some of the esoteric stuff.
Wow.
It's like it's like an even mixture.
Well, I'd like to class myself as a microphone martial artist, multidisciplinary. If I ever go over to combat martial arts, I would love to learn Senjutsu, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what I found, right? I found when I went to the real hard styles or sort of more combative side, there was very little spirituality. But then when I studied the spiritual arts, they couldn't
There was
really
very,
fight the they
there was
couldn't
very
fight the
little
way out of the
combat.
paper bag. Yeah,
Right. Okay. So
and
that's
that's
the
what
essence of Senjutsu, to have the synergy between
yeah,
the Tai Chi and the esoteric side, but with the combat as well, with effective protection.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember reading a book years ago, like probably 40 years ago, and it described the spiritual aspects of the martial arts. And yeah, it was all about like the meditation, the Zen, the energy, the chi, the ki, the self-empowerment, how to be invisible, all these things. But I could never find anybody who could teach me these things. So that was kind of the seed was planted probably at the age of maybe 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what you're saying? You started thinking about actually creating that martial art from the age of 12.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but it wasn't necessarily a conscious thing. It was something that was, I would say, it was implanted into my subconscious. But as an example, back then you could only really do karate, judo, and boxing. That was it. So what I decided to do, I took up karate, but I found that I wanted to use more hands. So I did karate on a Tuesday, and in the same place there was a boxing school on a Thursday. So I did boxing. But when I did boxing, I wanted to kick. But back then you couldn't really do things like kickboxing. So I used to do both, like a Tuesday and a Thursday. So I guess in a way that was like the catalyst for the mixed martial arts. But that would have been in the 80s.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll save the rest of that story for when we finally do this this martial arts episode. I want to
Yeah.
put a little bit more thought into that. I don't just want to throw it together because I want to with that episode. And I think, hey, this is what the midweek chats are about. Actually, it's actually about forming Friday episodes as well.
Yeah.
So I'll just put this on the table. I want to, before we go into that, or before we actually do it, I want to try and think about how we can incorporate more of what the other things we've been talking about. You know, building a mental fortress,
Yeah.
the non-physical protection, and I want to. With all due respect, and as much as I want to hear the stories, I don't want the episode just to be about old martial arts stories. I want to
No.
always keep it.
It's all interlinked. I mean, that
Yeah.
if you think about it, that's connected
You know what? You're already on the same page as me anyway. I'm just putting this on the table
Yeah.
for everyone that's listening.
it's connected to the polymath, the syncretist. Now, this is very, very important because like I mentioned the other week, that the polymath is a little bit of an oddity. When in actual fact, we all have the capabilities of being a polymath or syncretist, and in a way, that's quite a good aim to have.
Yeah.
And is needed. This compartmentalization of everything is kind of what's got us into the mess that we're in right now.
Yeah, because you've also mentioned this concept of how they've sort of demonized poly. Is it polymathics or polymathematics or whatever? Being a polymath
Yeah.
by coining this phrase, a jack of all trades but a master of none. Now,
Yeah.
let me just unpack that. Right, that phrase is something that everyone is familiar with. It's something that you've heard for people of my generation and of your generation. You've heard that since you're a young kid. Now, he's a jack
Yeah.
of all trades but a master of none.
Yeah.
Well, what about the option of being a master of multiple trades? Because the presupposition of that phrase actually sort of implants the idea that it's impossible to be very good or have mastery of more than one discipline, and that's simply not true.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and also, well, I don't want to go into too much of it now because I'll expand on Friday.
Sure.
It's all about creating and having a high quality of consciousness, and the only way you can do that is by incorporating and the embodiment and integrating all of the tools, all of the system, all of the mechanisms that you're born with, and for the most part have been put to one side or put in a box or compartmentalized, which is what they want you to do or to be, but of your own consent.
It reminds me of that film Divergent, where in this post-apocalyptic future, everyone lives in these sectors. And when you come of age, you have to take this test, this multifaceted, multidisciplinary test, and you're given like one of, is it 5 or 7 different symbols? And when you get given this symbol, that governs what you're going to be.
Sure.
Whether it's it's based on science, it's based on physicality, a combat person, etc., etc. And when you take the test, it governs what you're going to be, and that's you for the rest of your life in this dystopian future. But some people take the test, and they are what's called a divergent, which means the test governs that they don't fit into one of these. I can't remember if it's 5 or 7. It's probably 7 categories. And obviously, the main protagonist of the film, turns out to be a divergence. He takes the test, and you basically become sort of an outcast. And I don't know, I can't remember in the film if you get locked up or whatever. But I've literally just recalled this right now as we're speaking about it. That is basically a test in the future to weed out people that have natural syncretism or are polymaths.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that film?
No, I haven't. No. What's it called again?
It's called Divergent.
Ah, I've heard the name.
It's
I've
very
not
much
seen-
like Hunger Games, right? But it has, in fact, it's exactly like Hunger Games.
Sure.
And it came out afterwards, but it has this extra element of this test that gives you one of 7 life choices. And if you come out, and they're one of 7 colours, and if the computer comes up with no symbol and it's grey, then you're a divergent. And you basically have to start running out of the lab so that you don't get strapped down and taken away. If I remember the film correctly. For anyone that's watching, I'm sure someone's seen this film, Divergent.
Yeah, I'll look out for it. I'm going to mention movies actually.
I think it's important. It's a good reference point.
Yeah, I'm going to mention the positives and the negatives of movies and how it fits into even the number 33 and why certain factions are very interested in the control of the projection of movies and the real origins of it and how it can be used for you and against you. So like I say, this Friday, this Friday is going to be a very, very interesting show.
Yeah, and it's good because everything's already quite occulted, so the language is not gonna have Al, aka Al Gore, algorithm. He's not. If he can listen in, there's not going to be any problems with this. This isn't going to be picked up by an algorithm, so we can really go in. No holds barred. I've been looking into this stuff for 20 years. You've been looking into it for double that time, 4 decades. That's 60 years combined of research into. It really leads to, you could actually encapsulate it all by explaining the significance of this number plus its application. So I'm really, really excited.
6 years, I reckon, between us.
Oh right, 66 years.
Yeah, half it's 33.
Does that include all the overtime?
No, but if you're half it, it's 33 each.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, that's an extra 6 years from our combined 6 decades. So that 6 years is the extra overtime where we didn't go to sleep and we stayed up the extra bit longer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm a bit older than what you think, and when you say 40 years, actually a bit longer than that. I actually thought about that the other day. It's a bit longer than 40 years.
In this incarnation.
Well, yeah. So then that's probably 666.
Mine's 333. Okay, well. Oh no, we've passed 33 minutes. Bugger. You're live on Rise Above. Don't say fuck all bugger. No, I wanted to finish it at 33 minutes, but now we're on 34 minutes 40. Damn. What a shame. Anyway, in the Guardians, Master Lee, it's been a great midweek chat. Thank you very much, everyone that's listening. We keep it short and sweet on a Wednesday night. Like half an hour is perfect. 33 would have been so good, though. So, yeah, don't forget, this Friday, 7:30 p.m. GMT. Oh, I said GMTV. GMT. It is the 33rd episode of Rise Above Live. Myself, Inner Guardians, Andy PG, Magix, Word Nerd, Oma Beats. We're all going to be ready to go and go in on this number, what it means. So I look forward to seeing everybody on Friday. Let's go for some record viewing numbers. Let's have 250 people tuned in all the time. Let's do it. Right, Rise Above. See you guys on Friday.
Rise above.
Rise Above.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
Rise Above.
With Chicago, for example, guys, right, you can see that it's completely wiped out. But then I got photos of 1890 and the entire city is built back again with the same sort of architecture as like there, like the big Tatarian buildings. I'm like, hang on, what, did they build it all back exactly the same? Just makes no sense. And then, again, Chicago has a later fire, the Exposition. Oh, yeah, that burned to the ground as well, along with his fairground, conveniently. And it was one of the best expositions that ever existed. So Columbia, South Carolina, attributed to the American Civil War again. But as I said, this is part of an ongoing story, which is still going on to the modern day. Okay, the eradication of what went on before. Now that civilization you can see in the background, this is Baltimore. Sorry, I just go through all the cities in my head then in an instant. Baltimore. And you can see in the background that it is just absolutely beautiful living architecture, what we call Tatarian architecture. It's just beautiful. But what you witness in the foreground is there's some sort of technology. This is supposed to be a fire, okay? So this fire turns masonry into tiny little nuggets and bricks. And this is everywhere in America. And not only that, another thing I should have brought to your attention is every single one of these fires, the roads are always completely empty, almost as if they just got a fleet of bulldozers in and cleared the roads. The only reasoning for that is because they fell in their footprint, okay, from above. It's the only answer for what has been going on. It's such a mystery. Can you see that avenue there? The city's been completely eradicated, guys. Charleston. This was a beautiful Tatarian city up until, the bombing of the American Civil War. You can see they're doing some repairs on that church. But again, it just looks like, everything looks like Hiroshima, So, yeah, back to the Faches technology. Again, with the communications. Now, you can see, I just want to draw your attention to, you can see the center bit in the center, and then all of these pipes all the way around, and they're surrounded by more pipes. And you'll see that replicated exactly the same in church windows, in the Faches, because it's exactly the same technology.
Mother Earth is built in abundance. We need to return to that abundance. Return to our natural state. Back to the garden. Garden, 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 garden. Back to the garden. Gotta get back there, that's fair. Back to the garden, full time, that's real. Electric energy, self-care. Too many bricks and buildings, like I feel offended. Gotta get back to the way that God intended. But I'm here lost in the senses. Bricks and buildings, ATMs, use planets. It feels so damaging, now we need cannabis. We should be relying on the earth, not salaries. They made the matrix, changing realities. Abusing families, got us all blocked up. Using cabarets, flus and allergies. Not enough electric food in the battery to straight insanity. Yo, they wanna be like Veg, wanna sell herbal tea like Veg. They don't wanna eat that junk from Tesco's. They don't wanna eat no more rolls from Greg's. Yo, they wanna be like Veg, wanna sell herbal tea like Veg. Wanna vibrate high, drink from the bush for the taking. That CMOS on the Rex. Break free, can't break me. What's gonna happen? We'll wait and see. They're taking a piss here blatantly. So now I'm here making money on tea. Now I'm here making money on track, neutralizing the force so that I can relax. Know my role, hit my goal, pointing to the soul that nobody lacks. Like, just keep writing, can't stop fighting. So much dark, so I bring the light in. Babylon's harsh, oh Babylon's frightening. When you hear my bar, something's igniting. Electric charge, perfect timing, having it large. When I bring the grime in, I can't stop rhyming. These grime MCs don't say much now, they're all miming. Yo, they wanna be like Veg, wanna sell herbal tea like Veg. They don't wanna eat that junk from Tesco's. They don't wanna eat no more rolls from Greg's. Yo, they wanna be like Veg, wanna sell herbal tea like Veg. Wanna vibrate high, drink from the bush for the taking. That CMOS on the Rex. That's the absolute banger, actually.
He's now going back to a gold standard, possibly a silver standard, which is one of the reasons why they nutted off JFK, right? And in the past, we had something called treasury money. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Hitler himself brought in a financial package in Germany that made Germans rich, right? And all they did was took out the central bank, the Jewish central banks. Does anyone know what happened with in Austria when the Nazis captured Rothschild, and then they claimed the biggest ever? They asked for the biggest ever ransom, it's ever been paid to this day. I can't remember how much it was. It was billions and billions, right? And then when they had to pay it, and when they paid it, they released the Austrian Rothschild, and then he complained about the Nazis. I'm not suggesting Nazis were good, bad, or ugly, or whatever. I'm just saying I thought it was funny. And what they did was they made him scrub the floors. I just thought it was funny. I mean, actually, you get a Rothschild and you make him scrub the floors. So there are elements. So without being, so I do want to make sure I emphasise this, right? Not all Jews are bad. Right, there is a Jewish mafia, there is a Russian mafia, there's an American mafia, there's an Irish mafia, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if you was to turn round, if I was to talk about the Russian mafia, I am not calling every single Russian crooked, organised criminals, right? And by the way, the person who sorted out organised crime in Russia was Putin, right? He stopped it. And then you've got the same situation, but I don't know how they're going to deal with it. But that doesn't. What I'm trying to say to you is not all Jews are bad, right? But there is a Jewish mafia that's controlling it, right? I mean, I call them. There's another level called dark personality. So dark personality is a personality type where they've got no conscience whatsoever, narcissistic, Machiavellian.
Red Pyramid.
Jerusalem,
Oh yeah.
ayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana, Jerusalem, owami, aw, ilondoloze, ilondoloze.
So we've got a huge red pyramid.
We've
Got
got
the emergency services casting the symbol.
we've covered in their symbols in their uniforms.
Yeah, the symbol of Lucifer. The song is about Jerusalem. So we must, I don't know whatever language is that in. I'm going to assume that the other words in that song had some other significance apart from like, Jerusalem. I mean, what is this supposed to be? What does this say to you, Wolfie?
I don't know. I'm speechless, to be honest.
Mate, honestly,
It's definitely in a cult.
I do this for fun. I would do this semi-professionally. I was really blown away by how like overtly. I mean, it's not.
So I'm going to ask a
production.
question. I'm going to
Why?
propose a
What
question. Right. I'm going to propose a question. Do you think these individuals actually work for the emergency services, or they're actors just dressed up like that?
What, those people on screen right there?
Yeah.
Irrelevant. Doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
would say
doesn't matter.
Costumes anyway.
emergency services people who have gained the night off to do that, or they are literally just extras, is irrelevant.
But I mean, if you were generally, wouldn't you be asking, why are we doing this? It's like a massive pyramid.
They're NPCs. They're getting paid and they're on TV. They don't understand any of that. The only people who understand that is the person that wrote it. Here's a good example, right? You know the opening ceremony for the 2012 Olympics,
No, of course.
right? You know the thing with Boris in the bed and all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, 2 hours before that, they had a whole Jerusalem thing in the field with the top hats and all the
Yeah.
all written by Danny Boyle, yeah? And I said to someone in the combat sports world who we get along with well, but he thinks I'm a nutter because some of the stuff about this. And he's like, why? What? Are you trying to say that Danny Boyle's in on all that? And I said, well, look at it this way. Either Danny Boyle knows the esoteric significance of those 12 lambs, those 3 olive trees, that dance there, these 64 different items of the dance. He either understands the esoteric significance of that, or someone gave him a script and he sprinkled a bit of Danny Boyle on top of it. Which do you think? And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you can say whatever, but that ritual is the ritual of the New Jerusalem. And if you know your
occult rituals,
you can go, it's yep. And to the uninitiated, you look like an absolute weirdo.
Yeah, just
you know what my favourite saying is? To those who were dancing, must have looked quite mad to the people who couldn't hear the music.
Yeah.
And you know, when we talk about stuff like this, when we look at this, or we look at the opening to the Olympics, and we're going, "Oh my God, the Rising Phoenix! How many? Oh, there's 6 of those." And people go, "What are you fucking losers?" Well, perhaps you don't understand the significance of those things. So, I thought this was literally
Ancient
just
symbology.
like, whoa, this just blew me away. Next, is that? Oh yeah, that was it. That was my slideshow.
Oh, what one to finish on?
Yeah, what one to finish on? I think that was it. Yeah, absolutely, an absolute, not very high production, but a proper. There's no Rihanna. That was no Madonna, was it?
It was enough for that.
Anyway, if anyone's watching, we have 4 guests. We're HD. Let us know how the levels are sounding. I can hear myself really loud. I can hear the guests. Let us know how we're sounding, because in a minute, our special guest, Wolfie the Executioner, is going to do an awesome slideshow presentation. Before we do that, we might bust a video, but in a sec, we're just going to have a little look at the comment section, see what everybody's saying. 150 people. Boom. Dan Geach, held in Israel. What was held in Israel? What we just watched? Oh, no. Look, he's talking about the Madonna Eurovision halftime song.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, they love it. Robert Fain says, are they crisis actors that are on furlough?
Yeah, potentially.
Probably, yeah. Unemployed crisis actors. Yeah.
Did you see the clip? Did you see that clip of the Irish police line dancing?
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah,
Was it in front of a lake?
yeah, we presented that. Yeah.
Mate, I reckon they were just getting like jealous of like the hospital workers doing the Titanics on the beds and stuff. It's like, holy shit!
It's just ridiculous.
I'm totally anti-police anyway. I believe if BLM are good for one thing, it's the defund police campaign.
Oh, what you think they should just got to totally go?
Yeah, I think people need to grow up. People need to take responsibility for themselves. As soon as our morality increases, we know we don't actually need police.
I can tell you like Mark Passio. You're a proper like government is slavery dude.
I am, yeah.
Mate, I agree.
I want my
with you.
gun. Give me a gun.
Mate, I tell you what, if we're allowed guns, I would have a cabinet of absolute masterpieces. I'd have so many guns. But no, mate, I totally agree with you. Get rid of all the police. The only thing is, I agree with you in principle, but the problem is that whole defund the police thing
It's
in
the
America.
transition until that period.
No, it's not the transition. It was the thing that they had ready, waiting to replace the police instantly, which are either Chinese troops or robots. So the problem was when they say, yeah, let's defund the police. Yeah. Perhaps you haven't considered what the police are going to be replaced with yet.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's very.
You're right. They want to replace it with something else. Their own gang, their own. And that's not right. If they need to be defunded, they need to be defunded properly.
Yeah, I have a very, very similar conversation with someone about capitalism and money and the Great Reset. One of the first podcasts I went on to months ago before Rise Above got anywhere where it is today, I went and met these 2 guys and they were like pro BLM. They hated money, hated capitalism. Money is the root of all evil. And I was like, guys, money is not the root of all evil. Money is a means of exchange. The root of all evil is usury. Charging interest on money that doesn't exist and then taking real. That's the root of all evil. They didn't understand that. So I said, listen to you. Right, I'll tell you something. You think money's evil. When money's removed, there will be a different means of energy extraction that will be replaced with. You might not like that one so much. Do you know what I mean? Because at the moment, we work 5 days a week to pay off the debt to the you-know-whos that will never pay off, and that's why we have to work so hard. But these guys, they couldn't get it into their heads that money was actually just a means of energy extraction, because the global elite don't care about money. They can just print as much as they want. It's meaningless to them. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, totally agree.
Money doesn't even exist anyway.
If you take that money out of that society and take it to another society that doesn't value that, it's worthless.
Precisely.
It's only got value to people who believe it has value. So that's why
Same with government.
Cryptocurrency is just completely useless.
Well, not at the moment. Why do you say that? I mean, no, I want to hear your because I'm into crypto at the moment. Tell me why you think it's useless.
It's only got value if it's got demand.
Yeah. So how does that differ to cash? How does that differ
It's
to
not.
cash?
It's not actually anything, is it? It's just.
Yeah, but how does that differ to cash?
It's
cash
the
we have
same.
right now.
No, it's the same. Absolutely.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same.
I agree. Yeah. So it's a confidence trick. It's as worth as much as the confidence in the market that's floated at that time.
Exactly. It's got
Do you know
no
what the only-
real value.
But can I say one thing? Do you know what the advantage of crypto is over whoish fiat monetary? You can't create crypto out of nothing and lend it to someone with usury. There is only a certain amount that can be mined. That's the advantage, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
But I would say you're absolutely right, because we can see that the fiat monetary system is imploding before our very eyes, as it has to by its very design. And there will be some point in the future where the same thing will happen to the blockchain, I would imagine. It would probably have to.
If you think about it, guys, you think about. I'm with you, Wolfie. Like I'm anti-government, anti-establishment. I'm anti any hierarchical scheme or structure. Full stop. However, at the moment, obviously, the consciousness of the planet wouldn't warrant no police, because there would just be,
I agree with you, and I think it's about education.
Yeah, of course it is, absolutely. But it's going to take generations to get to that. But what I was getting at was, you could say cryptocurrency and not physical cash, but the monetary system are exactly the same thing. They're both still just a digital display.
Yes,
that's all it is.
However, at the moment, BTC, Bitcoin is decentralized.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
That new crypto yuan, the crypto shekel, those will be in charge.
I completely agree with the fact that cryptocurrency is better than a fiat whoish money system. However, it is just a digital display of numbers. The same as if you go to a bank and get a bank loan, they just chuck it into your digital display, and your bank account changes once you've signed it.
Yeah, but they don't create out of nothing. This is what most people don't. Right? If you go into a Lloyd's Bank and say, "I want to borrow £10,000," and you open a new account, the £10,000 that they type into your screen is a brand new digital number that they print out of nowhere.
Sure,
if
that's
it
what
was
I mean.
Crypto, their crypto would have left their server,
and exchanged. Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, it's just that literally it's popped out of thin air at the moment. So I do get that the crypto.
I believe in the best possible outcome if this Jazara thing or this, not the Great Reset ever happens. Any other good option, it would have to be a gold-backed crypto, in my opinion.
Well, that's why they got rid of Gaddafi.
Yeah,
that's why
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
That's
why everybody's buying silver.
They were doing exactly the same thing.
I hope you guys have been buying silver. I hope you've been listening. I hope anyone that's been listening has at least bought just a little bit of silver if you can afford it. Because in the future, silver is going to be so much more expensive than the gold. Do you know why? It's going to be used in all of the green technologies, and gold won't be. Word nerd, you're back. Have you heard about that, Wolfie? I'm sure you've seen the big silver squeeze. I wasn't a bandwagon jumper. I've been doing this since 2008. But a lot of people have just rushed out and bought silver.
I'm not sure if Wolfie, can you hear us? Are you frozen now on your screen, mate?
He's frozen. Let me just boot him out. I'll boot him back in.
Should we? We've been going for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, I was about to say we'll have a break and then we'll come back to Wolf.
Should we bust a tune out?
Yeah, we'll bust
Lance,
a tune out.
Can you play your new tune?
Right, guys. Yeah, let me introduce it. Right, I've been working on something special. We've got a brand new way to show videos. You might have heard. Let me see, Wolfie. Wolfie, are you there? He's got an internet problem. All right, we'll kick him out. So, guys, you might have heard a tune I've got called Bible Code. Right, I have been working on a video for Bible Code. I hope you like it. It's not totally finished. I'm going to showcase it here for the very first time. Let me know what you think. And I want you to know. I want to know what you think of it, because this should offend someone at least. No, it's not that one. One sec. Hold the line. I can just add it like this.
It's coming, guys. Don't worry.
Share
It's here. We got
video.
it. So yeah, we're gonna get Wolfie back after a little break because you're gonna play a tune.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's 1 hour 46 minutes in. We will just we'll play a tune,
and we're going to stop streaming
Here we
on
go.
the other.
Oh yeah, we stop. Okay,
page.
yeah. We should have done that ages ago. Right. So if you're still watching on Double LMC, we're going to say bye bye to Double LMC. Go over to Rise Above Live. It is in the comment section. We'll get Wolfie back. 1 sec. There's so much going on the screen. Wolfie's back. All right,
I'm
Wolfie,
back.
you're back. Mate, we're going to play a video. We're going to have a break, and when we return, we're going to go into your presentation. This tune's called Bible Code. I've been hashing this video for 6 months. I hope there's at least 4 or 5 hate crimes in this video. It's about religious extremism, and I'm trying to really
This is trigger
as many
business.
people at once. If you want to ask me any questions about this, feel free straight afterwards. This is Omar Beats on production, myself, Double LMC, Bible Code.
Man hates God. Jesus said that they hated him. They will hate those who preach his gospel. Jesus Christ is the most hated man on planet Earth today. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But God will prevail because he is the King of kings and the Lord of lords. He is the King of compassion, the lily of the valley. He is the great I am, the Alpha and Omega. He is the beginning and the last. He is the Lion of Judah.
Ask questions that are the deepest. What is a religious extremist? A terrorist with a Wahhabi thesis? Pedo priest praying to Jesus, a rabbi circumcising a penis, gesturing God, acting fiendish, lecturing mobs back. Who is the cleanest? Claiming we're equal, acting elitist. Listen up, there's lies in his sermons. Why's that? Your vicar is vermin. Hypocrites ain't hard to determine. Gotta rise up, be wise like a serpent. Beware the saving of serpents who prey on the weak, better than burden. Dissidents are destined for burning. Indoctrination is different to learning. You know the fables are coded. Demons, angels, comedians eroded. Reasons known by those who devoted. Revised, rewrote and promoted. Years past, scriptures unfolded. The names changed but never demoted. Translated, wildly misquoted. Sugar-coated, violent, corrosive notions. Charged with bitter emotions. Boarded ships and sailed across oceans. Holy books, gunpowder explosions. Hiding text like Trojans. Insidious lines were spoken. Indigenous minds were broken. Many tread the path of the chosen. And then struck with a hoop full of cloven.
But many people want to curse him, but they still, he is who he is. He's Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus Christ, God's perfect man and man's perfect God. You can't say that you haven't been warned on the day of judgment. Change your ways and turn to God. Because one day you will die.
Dangerous statements. Third-degree burns and hospital patients. Far-reaching increased engagement. Fast-speaking procedure replacements. Unleashing. Verbal wordplay leave them seething. Gasping. Belly breathing. Fasting. No more eating. No more 8-bar repeating. You can't greet me with seasoned greetings when we've got preachers teaching kids Satan's teachings. Degrading heathens. Concrete beliefs. No reasons. False idols. In league with demons. Across unsecular regions. Imams, rabbis, priests and deacons. From the studio to the stadium. Your basic levels, I'm raising them. I drop knowledge to expand the cranium. Free your mind, never enslaving them. No games, I don't play with them. I make a sample sweat gymnasium under the radar. Subterranean bars made hard with a full titanium. From the booth to the bleachers, install the truth for the mouth of the teachers. Elevate youth, Babylon's reaches. Renegade disfiguring features. Purge inconsiderate creatures. From the earth to the love increases. Urge all illiterate leaders. Learn my words, give birth through the speakers.
You will stand before the judgment seat, the Bible says, and he will remind you of your evil ways. You'll be afraid and scared, and you will not be able to say nothing. I'm telling you, you can go to a place called heaven where the streets are made of gold, the Bible says, where there's joy and peace. You can go to heaven where you will drink from the throne of God, crystal clear water, you'll never thirst. But if you go to hell, you will thirst throughout eternity.
Yeah, what are you saying? What do you guys think about that? Holy shit. I'd like to do a bit of something a little bit different, obviously, that no one is ever... that's never going to make me any money. They're never going to play that on the radio. Simply not interested. Oh my God, I'll get to him in a minute. Leave that right there.
I'll screenshot it and
yeah,
send
we'll
it to you.
screenshot it. Let's have everybody back in. What do you reckon of the tune, guys?
That was hard. Mate.
More about the video. Did you like the? What is it? What is a religious extremist? A terrorist with a Wahhabi thesis, a pedo priest praying to Jesus, or a rabbi circumcising a penis? And I actually had a Hasidic rabbi biting off a foreskin and like coughing it into a cup, just that added pizzazz. And some people think I'm weird. Anyway, welcome to our special guest tonight, Wolfie the Executioner. Big up Spoken Word Nerd, Andy PG to my left. What time is it? Oh, 9 o'clock. Early days yet. Wolfie, how are you feeling? Are you have you got your presentation ready to go?
I've kind of got it ready to go.
All right. Well, I'll give you a little intro as we roll in. We'll do a couple of comments on that. It's Friday night, Rap and Drinks. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Big up.
Buffton at the back.
Who did we have last week? Roxy and Jim, Really Woke Show. Awesome guests. Becky S before that.
And we had
Tayshawn,
and then
Human Vibration. Yeah,
yep.
We've had some awesome guests. We've had some absolutely awesome guests.
I think we're going to have a bit of jaw-dropping business tonight from
jaw-dropping business. Before Wolfie, can I?
Is he getting his accent?
Bring that.
Okay. I was going to do it on the just hoist it up on the Facebook.
Right, so I'm just going to share my screen. Let me just give these guys a little. Oh God, I've got so much going on in one sec. So these symbols here. We've been talking about esotericism. We've been talking about deities. We've been talking about Freemasonry. We've been talking about lots and lots of different stuff. I'm going to get rid of my screen.
Deities.
Where is Wolfie's screen? There it is. Wolfie's screen. Right. So, Wolfie the Executioner, your presentation is going to be called Jar or Yarbulon. Okay. I'm just going to let you take it away, mate. Everyone that watches this show knows the kind of stuff we talk about. Occult numerology, the dark arts, dark Freemasonry, Hermeticism, all the good shit. I'm going to let you take it away, mate, and we're going to interrupt you. We're going to butt in. We're going to do everything else in between.
Yeah.
Big up everyone in the comment section. This is Wolfie the Executioner. What's that? What does that say? Word of life, Jarbulon. Okay, I like that. Let's go full screen. Yeah. Okay, mate. Take it away.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I did a lot of. It's a strange word, and I did a lot of searching about this, and I was led to believe it was a Masonic god, but it's not a Masonic god. I actually found out that it means word of life, and the original, the most prevalent time it was used was in a ceremony by Aleister Crowley. So it kind of led me down a rabbit hole of what is the word of life and what does that actually mean, rather than its origins. I wasn't worried about the origin of the word. I wanted the meaning of the word. So I went down this rabbit hole. So what I'm gonna sort of present to you is very old, actually, and most of it is very simple, but it's more of how they are all connected together. Okay, so I'm going to do the presentation in kind of reverse. Okay, so I'm going to go through what is the word of life, where does it come from, and what does it mean, and then talk about the origin of the usage of it. So it's word. What's the language, the universal language? It's very simple: number, symbolism, and form. These are universal, irrespective of spoken tongue. So I'm going to take you through some very basic. Are you still with us?
Yes, mate. Sorry, I'm just showing the whole screen. Can you not see it? Oh, sorry. Pardon me. Is that better? Hello?
It went a bit funny on my screen.
Oh,
where
sorry.
I'm watching it on two screen.
Sorry, mate. I'll leave it how it was. I was just trying to optimize it and make it bigger. I'll leave it how it was. My apologies. You carry on.
So it's all right. You could do it rather than do it full screen. Do it a bit smaller so I know where I am. I'm a bit disorientated.
That one. There you go.
Yeah. So
you haven't got the double screen like we have here. We've got the Pro Rise Above setup. I'm going to get 2 more up there later, but yeah, carry on, mate.
So I'm going to go on with some basic foundation knowledge that you know, just to bear in mind, okay? And we all know this stuff. It's really, really simple. 1 solar day, 24 hours. 24 hours times 60, 1,440 minutes. Yeah, 1,440 minutes times 60, 86,400 seconds. Therefore, 720 equals 60. 43,200. Now, these numbers are carriers. They're carriers of information. Okay, and I'm going to get on to what that means. So if I tie that in now with some basic space measurements, okay, 1 foot is 12 inches. Where does an inch come from? I'm going to get to that later. Okay, 1 square foot is 144 inches. Now remember, that's the same number as the previous number. Yeah,
144 comes up a lot. 144.
Yeah, 144 comes up a lot. It's just a different order of magnitude. That's all. It's just times 1 hand. I'm going to get onto hand because that's actually a Hebrew symbol. Hand. It is.
For a unit of measurement.
For a unit of measurement, and it means 10.
Okay.
So if you
10
look at
10
Hebrew
fingers.
alphabet, that Hebrew alphabet didn't actually have any numbers in them. They didn't have a separate alphabet like we had, where it was letters and numbers. They just had those symbols, and then they had numbers next to them as well. And then they also had a figure next to it. Anyway, a cubic foot, 1,728 cubic inches, and a yard, 1,296 inches. Okay, so we'll put that on there again. You know, we've got 12,960. 1 order of magnitude, basically. Very important number. So remember that number.
Wait a minute. Can I just interject for some of our younger viewers, right? I'm old enough to know about imperial numbers. Metric numbers are what many people younger than us, they're the only thing they know, obviously counting in tens. And I've always thought, I grew up with metric, but I understand an inch. I always thought about these old numbers, these imperial numbers, feet, inches, pounds, stones, like the money, halfpennies, 2 bob and 5 shillings, yeah?
Yeah.
We were talking about this with my parents the other night, and it's all based, am I right? It's based on 12? Is it based on 12s, roughly? Rather than 10s? This counting.
I did look at this actually a while back, and I can't remember.
it seems to lend itself to have more sort of like esoteric code stitched into it than metric.
It's like threepenny bit and stuff like that.
Yeah, a halfpenny and a 2 bob shilling and stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck?
I think a pound was something like 120 pennies or something weird.
Yeah,
it's before my time.
A guinea was worth more than a pound. A guinea was worth 1.1 pounds or something.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was like a tip. A guinea. So, geometric measurements, geometry measurements. Okay, circumference of a circle is divided into 360. 360 degrees of arc that divides by 60 minutes, which is 21,600 minutes of arc. Yeah, 21,600 minutes of arc equals 1,296,000 seconds of arc. Now, the Sumerian calendar, remember this, the Sumerian calendar was actually divided into 360 days. And they had 5.25 days of rest. And then they started it all over again. So they knew this information. They knew the geometry of a circle. I'm going to go on to the geometry now. Okay, well, so let's just take this little quick reminder. Now, all these numbers, all of these measurements, they all equal Kabbalistically to 9. Yeah, 1,440. 1 plus 4 plus 4 equals 9.
I've actually looked into this myself.
Yeah.
In the Kabbalah tradition, yeah.
So, as Godfadge would say, that's a Parasite 369
Yeah.
energy force. If it's about 369,
Yes. Tesla was really into 369 as well. If you look at Tesla, very important numbers.
Sure.
So to understand these, and we've got the alphabet of sacred geometry, okay, which is circle, triangle, square, and a pentagon. These are the basic forms, and then from these, everything else builds up. Okay, so let's look at these. Triangle. Each angle is 60 degrees.
Yeah.
It equals 180 degrees. Again, 1 plus 8 equals 9. Square. Again, 90, 90, 90, 90, 360 degrees. Pentagon. Now, the pentagon's really, really interesting.
here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, now we're starting to get onto some proper symbolism and starting to understand it. Yeah. So each angle is 108 degrees. 5 times 108 degrees is 540. 5 plus 4 equals 9. So Kabbalistically, it works. 108 is considered to be a lunar number. Okay. It's actually 108 is the atomic mass value of silver. And silver is a lunar.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So silver is a lunar symbol. It symbolizes the moon. Okay. You join the lines up, you get a pentagram, etc. And these are now starting to become symbolism of what we recognize. You know, there are certain things that are important about this. Then we go on to 3D forms, and this is where it starts getting interesting. Tetrahedron, which is the 4 equilateral triangles, 720 degrees. Remember, it was 720 minutes in a day, in half a day.
Sure.
Yeah. Cube. Again, cube is really, really interesting. 6 faces, 2,160 degrees. Same order, same number, less order of magnitude, 216. And again, that's a huge symbolism.
This is like fractals. This, do you know? This is, sorry to interrupt. This is jumping out at me about the holographic universe theory, that the fractal geometry, the holographic geometry is built into everything, because essentially a hologram, you take the smallest part of it, you look at it, it's the same whole picture.
Yes.
Michael. Militant stairs. Militant stairs. Militant stairs. Militant stairs. Who invited the military here? 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 Who invited the military here? I never invited the military here. Who invited the military here? Who invited the military here? Did you invite the military here? Who invited the military here? Gore-Tex boots, ankle holster, kit, low visibility grey. Shock troops, 50k taser, crowd dispersal energy ray. Flame retardant combat fatigues, 9mm Glock 17s. SIG, 516, carbine with high cap magazine. Red dot sight gun mounted, flashlight, backup clip, strapped to his leg. Counter protest firearms officer, CS grenades across his chest. Strict orders, encrypted frequencies. Combat civil unrest, across all borders, untold secrecy. Rolled out on the streets of the west. Who invited the military here? I never invited the military here. Who invited the military here? Who invited the military here? Did you invite the military here? Who invited the military here? Yo, smoke clears on the battlefield. Now we can see the opposing force. These guys think they're freedom fighters, but they can't fight for the cause in skinny jeans, Doc Martin boots. Feeble frames are dressed in black. Mask face, dark balaclava, hammer and sickle, red communist flag. Minds filled with a poison doctrine, far left ideological track. Hordes of social justice warriors, protest signs, poised to attack. Radical feminist virtue signals, poorly spelled in luminous green. Pay protesters are useful idiots, get used in numerous schemes. Who invited the military here? I never invited the military here. Who invited the military here? military here? Did you invite the military here? Who invited the military here? Containment units dispatched en masse. DEFCON 5, civil war. Activate the takeover plan, all drills are live. Martial law, post-revolution times. Life under curfew, learn to adapt. Laws of federal crimes. They signal virtue when you react, so better keep in line. Don't speak out or cause speculation. No more protest signs. Adjustment camps for re-education for non-conformist minds who dare to rebel or question the state. That's OSF design. Front revolution and crush the debate. Who invited the military here? Who invited the military here? Who invited the military here? In tactical boots and military wear. Who invited the military here? Looking at me with militant stares. Who invited the military here? Irrational troops and military gear. Who invited the military here? Boots on the streets cause imminent fear.
They used balloons to generate electricity in the past. I'm a big purveyor of free energy, and I think that they definitely got it. And I think that all of these narratives for like coal mines and everything else was just jobs for the boys. It was all bullshit. They got free energy. And they have had all along they're using it. Airstat. So if the work of Benjamin Franklin, for example, he realized in the 1700s that you could tease using lightning and a kite, but get electricity, which totally fascinated the world apparently at this period. I think that the world was totally savvy with the weirdness that is electricity way early on. I think like right back. Because that's what they tell us. It's like we all got smart all of a sudden. I don't see that. I don't see that. They water the crops with fucking Chernobyl. It's idiocracy, guys, isn't it, out there? Have you been out there? So I definitely think that we were in a much more better state of consciousness in the past. So you can see this operation here of aerostat balloons interacting with the untold electrostatic potential that is in the air, and the higher up you go, the more electrostatic potential. So you get up high enough with a balloon, you can tease the electricity down and then put him into these units, and that would be usable power. So that was patent. That was happening in the 1800s. So why did they pack it all in? Well, the Edison Tesla narrative, isn't it? But I noticed they're shitting more Tesla information out now, because that guy's like an enigma. Like, there's no movies of him. No, it's so important, so significant. It's like, yeah, it's just like everyone started talking about him when the internet turned up, guys. Nobody knew anything about Tesla. And there's like him as a young man looking like Count Dracula, and then there's them looking like Skeletor at 90, and this is all we've got for.
The difference, people need to understand, the British Nationality Act of 1948 and 1981 erased English, Scottish, Welsh and Irish nationality. British, if you declare yourself as British, you are putting a legal fiction on your forehead, and under British nationality, you have none of these rights. None whatsoever, right? And the Acts of Settlement protected the English because of the Dutch, so it had nothing to do with race, right? The Dutch are white, right? But because they was coming over here and then robbing the country and getting into positions and taking all the money back to Holland, there's a whole story around this. It'd take 2 hours to go through it. But the point I'm trying to get at is then people say to me, so you're saying if you're black or brown, you can't be English. I am not an ethno-nationalist, right? I'm a constitutionalist. The Constitution says this, quite simply, and it doesn't matter what colour you are, right? It says, for you to be in any position of authority, that means a judge, that means an MP, that means a law, that means whoever, a police constable, you must be born of English parents. That's the law. That was the constitutional law that the British Nationality Act repealed. Then it allowed the foreigners to come in and destroy our constitution under the Union. That is always been their target. So if you're black, right, and you've lived here for 3 generations, and you're English, and you say I'm English, I know loads of black people who are more English than half of Britain first, right? I mean, literally. And they declare that they are English. They're not British. They believe themselves to be English. They are. They've been here for 3 generations. They're entitled to be in Parliament, right? I'm not suggesting there isn't indigenous English. There is. And that's always an argument I'll get from these people. And I said, you're talking about 2 different subjects. What we're talking about are these people coming in who are foreign.
Blockers, and it's like, I've just come in, I've told you I'm feeling a bit depressed, and I've had no registered depression for years, and you're just like, take beta blockers. Are you getting paid for this? Like, are you pushing beta blockers? Because you've just like thrown that on me like that was fucking easy. I just walked in here and it's not even necessarily what I need. I might just be having a bad week. So I've had constant friends who are being suspiciously offered kind of what are kind of hardline pharmaceutical drugs for treating someone who's, you know, at a real limit where they need something, and then with something else, not just take this and go away. But it happens, isn't it?
SD in the comment section is a psych practitioner, guys. So SD, if you want to chime in, if we're getting anything wrong or if we're getting anything right, please do chime in.
Sure.
I want to say something. I made a really noticeable observation. I don't know how many years ago it was. I think it's roughly in between 3 and 5 years ago. I noticed that all of a sudden, within a space of 4 weeks, all across the mainstream media and every media in the UK, the massive mental health campaign started.
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone remembers, right? And everyone thought, this is a great idea. This is so great. This is brilliant. We're finally going to tackle mental health. And knowing me, guess what I did? The first thing I said is, nope, this is fucking bad.
This is a promotion.
This is very bad. And so how can you possibly say that? And I say, here's why. Right? If you study the US, Canada, and even Australia, the US especially, I'm not sure if this is still an accurate statistic. It was at one point. 1 in 3 under 12s were permanently prescribed to SSRIs.
Wow.
And for anyone that doesn't know what
1 in 3.
SSRIs are, they're selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor drugs. So that's your Valiums, your diazepam Valium, your antidepressants, basically.
It's getting all the kids on antidepressants.
Yeah, and then I looked into the massive link between all the school shootings and how every single one of the school shooting kids was really badly hooked on antidepressants, etc., etc. And as soon as I saw that multimedia campaign happen all over the UK, every radio station, every TV, everything, everywhere, everyone's got mental illness, everyone is mentally ill, the first thing I thought is, that is a drugs push. That's an advert. And everyone's like, oh, you're a stupid conspiracy theorist. And it's like, well, the more you prescribe those drugs, guess what happens? More people get depressed. And I even had a conversation with someone that was a professional health professional. And they said, no, you got it wrong. I said, no, you don't realise. When you prescribe those drugs, do you know what the number 1 side effect is of those drugs? Depression and suicidal thoughts. And they didn't know that. I schooled them. Lee Gould, you've sent me an Instagram message. Lee Gould, I'll sort out your t-shirt, don't worry. Anybody else wants a t-shirt, wants one of my t-shirts. We've got white in the moment. We've got a couple in black. Green, khaki, and red are coming. Insta _L_MC. Nice chilled show tonight, isn't it?
Yes, nice chat. I'm really looking forward to Wolfie.
Oh, mate, I'm looking forward to Wolfie too, yeah. But
I'm a sucker for imagery. And when you set some of those images,
you just like his GIMP mask.
No, I just like the symbology.
Who that? I'm a psychiatric nurse, 2 guys. Right, who that? I would like your professional opinion.
Chime in, guys. Come on.
Who dat? Did you notice a really marked surge in the promotion of the idea that most of the country, in one way or another, is suffering from some sort of mental illness? I did. And when did you notice it? Alicia is still asking for red. Red is coming in the next pump. Don't worry. Unruly. Yo, Lance, check the Telegram group. Just post a hip hop pro vaccination video that's going around the States. Okay, all right, we're interactive here.
Let's get it up.
Let's do it. That's the best thing.
Pro-vax. Interesting.
Those English guys, that vaccination guidance.
Yeah, that you showed me.
Yeah, they got taken down.
Oh, really? Well, the whole channel? Of course it did.
Right, let's get that back up. So, who sent it to me? Unruly King. King video. No. Unruly King, how did you send it? In the Rise Above
It's
chat?
not in the Rise Above.
Check the Telegram group.
I'm in the Telegram group.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Yeah.
We can get back to normal. Let me inform you. Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity.
Oh my God.
Unity for you and me. Yeah. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. All right. There is none higher. DMC. I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take.
Right, I'm going to say
This is
something.
unreal.
I'm going to say something, right? They're doing this because black people aren't taking the vaccine. This not going to convince black people to take the vaccine.
This is hip hop.
This guy is the biggest fucking. I don't like using those like coconut, whatever. He can't even fucking rap.
Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. Yeah. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. All right. There is none higher.
I'm the king of rock.
So who is this guy?
Who paid for this? Jesus Christ. Coviet dissident. Massive weasel.
This is
absolute.
I mean, this is a parody of itself, isn't it? This is not South Park.
No. Right. Wait a minute. We need to find out what this is.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I found it on Twitter.
King Kai. That's got to be a piss take. Big up King Kai. Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention, bro.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I love this the interaction here.
Oh, Fluid Poor Patriot wants 2 extra large t-shirts. Oh, right. Oh, shit, we're getting loads of a t-shirt. This is the problem, right? Every week I try and sell t-shirts and I just can't keep up with it. I will go through those messages. I will get those t-shirts sorted. Right, let's get rid of this. We're getting too interactive. I can't even see the screens.
So who's the tune by? Who is that?
That's not a tune.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Who's that propaganda music
His
by?
beard looks like a massive C. Woke Realist says, don't upset Pete. Guys, where's Pete? Who remembers Pete from last week?
The only person we've ever had to boot off.
Mate, do you know what?
Ever.
It was uncanny, right? Because we were showing something. You tangent hold. That's half a tangent, half a rabbit hole. You tangent hold something. Someone on the screen goes Robert Seffer, and we're like, yeah, let's put on some Robert Seffer. We put on some Robert Seffer. I'm just sat here
triggered.
I'm just Seffering, yeah. And I'm like, it's only a matter of time before someone says he's a Nazi.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I said he's the most badass anthropologist, like fucking Nazi. And then Pete just came up with his alt-right like button board. It's like Pepe, racist dog whistle. It's like, oh dear, small-minded people. You lot absolutely wicked. Yeah, Spoken Word Nerd is loud and crystal tonight and unscrambled. Thank you, Larry Gallus.
Excellent.
Guys, I hope you're enjoying it. Right, look at the quality. Look at the quality. 1080p. Look at the other quality. Where's Andy gone? We got some hardcore quality.
You can see my golden locks, nice.
You can even see actual colours in the room. Look at Buffton in the back.
You can see Buffton there. Big up Buffton.
Yeah, 1080p all the way. Right, back to this. Oh yeah, Larry, Spoken Word Nerd, Larry Gallus says you are crystal clear tonight. The Soviet Union is not cracking down on you, mate. Right,
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Larry.
Identifying science. I picked this up.
Through the money. Let's look at the money there.
This is a little bit old, but New South Wales, I guess, government says avoid sex during COVID. Instead, masturbate in front of your partner,
Right.
while social distancing, wearing a
God's
mask.
sake.
Right? No, I'm sorry.
That's
right?
literally what these creeps are into. That's what Louis C.K. was doing.
Hold on. Right? You want to have sex with your partner. You need to masturbate in front of them. Okay. Now, some people do masturbate over each other as part of their sexual acts. For some people, that's normal. But they want you to social distance. So you can't actually wank over someone. You have to stand on the other side of the room, looking at someone masturbating while wearing a mask.
Wow.
Now, is it just me, or is that in any other circumstance? That's arrestable behaviour.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this okay only if you do it in a bedroom? If you do this outside, you stand, you social distance yourself from someone, you wear a mask and you masturbate at them from a distance. That's called being a pervert.
Yeah.
Why should you keep that? I thought he was funny. It's not my fault he was wanking into plants.
Lee, do you reckon Pete was 77th Brigade? I personally thought that 77th would come with something better. Listen, hey, has anyone else got this one? I know someone else has got it. I got an inbox message on Facebook Messenger about a month ago. It was very long. And it's like, Lance, your posts are very interesting. We've been watching them for a while. And the first 4 or 5 lines was leading into it. But then it goes, I've got some bad news. The kind of people you've been pointing out are the same people that the right-wing extremists, the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, and and basically they're saying that anything to do with calling out cultural Marxism, anything to do with calling out international banksters, the Whoish, all of the things which you're talking about on the show, there was this whole long paragraph that was trying to convince me that I'd been radicalised into the alt-right.
Radicalised?
Yeah, and mate,
Wow.
and the crazy thing was, it was very well written. It was a whole page. And I've seen online 2 other people have received it. It is literally a 77th Brigade cut and paste.
About you?
No, it wasn't just about me. It was sent to me.
Right, okay.
But, yeah, you'll probably get one as well at some point.
Anti.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was just like you've been basically co-opted by some of the most, like, the people you're fighting against, basically.
Yeah,
That's what they were saying. Right, next slide. Because
I've had
Wolfie's coming
exactly the same thing. I've been told I can't criticise George Soros because the right hates
Oh,
him.
really?
So I'm like,
Oh, that's
the fact
that's
that he might be a complete and utter.
It's anti-Semitic
you know.
if you criticise George Soros. Although George Soros is the anti-Semite of all because he actually stole things of Jews and gave them to Nazis, didn't he?
He made his entire fortune from grassing up his fellow Jewish community
George Schwartz.
to Nazis. That's how he made his money. He literally went around with Nazis, pointing them out and showing them where these people hide. His own
It's the
people.
same trick
Yeah, nice
they
guy.
play with Israel. Israel's a very powerful country. There is a reality with a very powerful clique, and it's the same. But it's talking about Pete, who pulled the racist card last week. It's like we have Christians that are not really Christians, that claim to be Christians and fuck it up for everybody else. George Bush claimed to be a Christian. He claimed that God spoke to him in a dream and told him to read Iraq. Tony Blair was supposed to be a Christian. We've got an extremist set of the Muslim faith fucking it up for everybody else. And it's the same, unfortunately, with Judaism and almost everything else. There are extreme sects in these groups who take things
Well,
too
this is
far
the
and fuck
thing.
it up for
Big up
everybody else.
Magix. Good evening, sir.
This is the thing, Big Up Magic. I said to him, I was like, all right, mate, I'll play your game. Who are we being racist towards? Are we being racist towards the Vikings, calling them Jews? Are we being racist towards Jews, saying that they're white, blonde-haired Aryan people?
Why is
Who
it?
the fuck are we being racist towards?
Why is it racist to suggest?
The history's wrong. That's
Yeah,
racist.
why is it racist? Yeah, but just because we might have suggested that the Vikings were Jews or the Jews are Vikings, why is that racist? About a geographical location of where some group of people were born. How is that fucking racist?
Wait a minute. we're getting behind it. Zero Dragon 84 says, double LMC. I hope you responded with, but I have a beard just like Mark's. Responded to what? I do have a beard just like Mark's, but it's not as big. Lance, you're so rad. What did I do? No,
You're so rad.
guys, love you lot. Absolutely love you lot.
142.
Oh, look at this one. I'm Rudy King. You fucking nailed it. The real Jews are not Jews.
There you go.
It's about the Khazars.
The unholy
mate,
ones.
magics. We need magics in the. Magic.
Yeah, we'll have a chat
Right.
later about the
Everyone knows about the fall of the Cabal last year by Janet Ozenbard. That amazing
the
documentary.
Pizzagate stuff.
The sequel to Fall of Cabal. Holy shit, mate! She goes in, mate. She literally.
I've seen up to episode 6.
Mate. Anyway, right, back to
It's
the
a lot
slide.
to cover.
Lot to
It's
cover.
a lot to take in because the
Lot to
trouble
take
is,
in.
once you like what I do when I watch something like that, I make a list, a sublet. I have a notepad and pen while I'm watching it, and I just jot things down that I want to go and then rabbit hole. But like after 2 or 3 episodes, of that I'd like a month's worth of lists to go through, and then
Have to go
It's
through it
so
pretty
much.
slow. Look at Larry. Calling Vikings Jews might have upsetted Pete, me too. And the Vikings were pagans, not proto-Christians, like Mr. Triangles was saying. Mr. Triangles, is that Vag?
Is that God Vag? It's Mr. Triangle. It's God Vag.
Do you know what? I'm so happy sometimes, right? You lot, that guy that is God Vag as far as we know.
Yeah.
Mate, I go on Facebook, I see people talking about like the Soviet Union. I saw someone call them Health Chancellor Gates.
Yeah, I saw Health Chancellor Gates
Mate,
online.
and we're not taking credit for it. This is our language that we can't together because this is a family thing. Rise Above is a family, right?
And yes, the Vikings were pagans, of course they were, but why is that a bad thing to worship the land and appreciate nature? We've been taught the pagans were evil and dark and
We've got Wolfie. I think we should invite him
Should get him
just
in.
for the last bit. Okay, guys, he's not going to do his presentation yet, but this is one of our regular viewers. He is chopping heads off on Facebook with some of his posts.
He's here regularly, isn't he? He's always in the chat.
I nick a lot of his posts as well, and I put them in the
course
slideshow.
you
and I
do.
forgot- They're so fucking
mean,
good.
mean
Right.
thief.
We're gonna welcome Wolfie the Executioner. He's gonna sit in and have a little bit of laugh for the rest of our slideshow, and then he's gonna go deep with his presentation. The Chief Executioner of the Jazara Free World. His weapon of choice is an axe. Welcome, Wolfie the Executioner.
Thank you very much.
How you doing,
Good
bro?
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Welcome to Rise Above, mate.
Guys,
Thank you
let us
very
know
much.
in the chat if what he's sounding like compared with us in the levels, yeah, and we can have a little adjustment.
Yeah, so you tune in almost every week, don't you, Wolfie?
I do, yeah. Great show. Actually, I don't know how I found you. I think it was your Serco
Yeah, a lot of
presentation you
people
did.
found me through that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a hard act to follow, mate. I'm just riding off the fucking wave of that Serco speech still. But yeah, no, mate, you've week in, week out, you've been banging the comment section. I've been watching you on Facebook, picking up some of your posts and put them in the slideshow. So thanks very much for coming on, mate, and we're really looking forward to your presentation later on. But for now, we've got a few more Soviet Union things to talk about. So, right, Wuhan, Soviet 1984, wet markets, stupid bat stories. We've heard it all.
Fauci.
But Fauci, we've heard it all, and the good thing is that the real investigation, as you might have seen, Wolfie, has been done over the last 2 weeks in the mainstream media, and according to the BBC, it's really starting to look like it's extremely unlikely that it did come from the Wuhan lab. They were right in the first place, apparently.
Right.
What do you
Bollocks are
reckon?
Just covering it up.
Yeah, I know. It's pathetic, isn't it? it is a rubbish attempt as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if you've seen that video that I made that we got banned when they were put on BitChute, where I showed the documents where the Chinese scientists were literally cutting and pasting the AIDS proteins straight from Wuhan. You know, they either made all that up or that's the official conspiracy theory. Who knows? But who's buying this shit, mate?
Not us. I'm not paying any Soviet credits for their shit.
They're asking you to pay more. The license fee's going up soon.
Yeah, is that right?
Right. Now you got to click over here.
Right, here we go, guys. Midwives told
Right.
to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding in gender inclusive move.
The next section is something which I thought we put to bed before COVID 1984 started happening. Wolfie, did you notice all this crazy transgender stuff that was happening a few years ago?
Far leftist.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
think-
worried about that. I'm not commenting.
You're not commenting. All right, I'll comment. It was getting really stupid, really preposterous, and really weird. And then it seemed like COVID in 1984 happened, and obviously that's a bit more important. Gender fluid people, no one cares about you. Go and wipe up your gender fluid. But in the last couple of weeks, we've got a slew of these ludicrous cultural Marxist, up is down, left is right headlines. Midwives are told to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding in a gender occlusive move. Just shut up. I mean, this speaks volumes. We've got an NPC periods on not just for women, bleeding while trans. It's like, just reminds me of the fall of the Roman Empire. Here's another good one. Breast milk is now human milk. UK Hospital Trust adopt gender-neutral language in maternity. Do you know what? I heard about this 2 or 3 years ago because I do MCing, boxing MCing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it was floated a couple of years ago, and it started off at train stations. So they're actually going to stop addressing people as ladies and gentlemen. You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard about they're actually doing it now in parts of.
And I said from day one, I
sectors.
will never, ever, ever stop addressing people as ladies and gentlemen.
What would they expect you to address the audience as, not?
Hello, people.
So the class. We've all seen UFC. Ladies and gentlemen, like that. What was it? So what would you do? What would they do?
Oh, I did one in Sweden, and it was Brave Nation.
Right. Okay.
And they were an Arab company, so they weren't gender woke.
Right. Of course.
But
the other way, even.
yeah, the other way, head choppers. But this stuff seems to be seeping its way back in. And I'll tell you what, Wolfie, I kind of like the fact that you just cannot even be bothered to comment on this stupid garbage, because this is literal mind garbage, isn't it? You've got more important things to
It's
say.
mind fuckery. It really is. It's just brainwashing.
Yeah, it's an insult.
I'm not going to comment on anybody's gender.
Mate.
I don't. It is. I'm not going to insult anybody's gender or anything like that. I think that's just bollocks.
If someone wants to identify as a carrot, mate, let them do it.
Exactly. And what you're seeing here is just mind fuckery. It is. It's just bullshit. Really.
I think it's designed
terrible.
to demoralise us, to see how far they can push us, to see how far they have already eroded the 2.4 children.
It's just another division technique.
Yeah. Word nerd, say hello to Wolfie the Executioner.
Hey, what's up? Good evening, Wolfie.
Hello, mate.
Right. So,
what area of the Coviot land are you from, Wolfie?
I'm in Reading.
Oh, okay, not too far. Not too far.
So I'm not too far. No. You bear with me. I'm just trying to get this.
You take your time.
Working up.
You can see the share. You've got a share button at the bottom of your screen. That's the important thing, mate. No worries. As long as you're using
bear with me.
Don't worry, mate.
When I'm ready.
Mate, worst comes to the worst, you could just ping it over to me and I can share it this end. So, do you remember that really fit, really clever press secretary that Trump had?
What's her name? Kayleigh
McEnany.
Yeah.
Look who's replaced her. Ginger NPC. The stock market is fucked. What are you going to do? We'll circle back to that. Did I mention we hired 3 transgendered pansexual basket weavers to run the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Of course.
It's true, though. Right. Now, I know I showed this one last week because someone in the Telegram showed it to me.
It's imagery.
And the next few slides, which I'm going to talk about, are going to be a soft introduction to when Wolfie sort of really, really shoves something down a rabbit hole and makes it wider in a minute. I thought you like that. So yeah,
lots of rabbit holes for you tonight.
Hey, we like a cacophony of capillaries of rabbit holes in all directions.
Nice word.
A plethora of rabbit holes. Do you know what we're missing though? We're missing our badger. Do you know who the badger is? It's Magix.
He's here. He's
sniffing
around.
Badgers do? They go down rabbit holes.
You're lurking.
They eat rabbits.
Yeah.
Right. So
Magic. If you say his name enough, he'll just appear. Magix.
Sometimes. This image.
Magic.
It's architectural delight.
Do you know what Godvag said about like the Ben stone being like lowered over the dome? So we brought this up last week. Loads of people were posting it in Telegram, right? So let's just go. Do you remember human vibration?
Yeah, of course.
Now she showed us that this image
is to do with light. Okay, it's to do with light. It's to do with Lucifer. It's to do with the occult. It's used in logos, and it's the Freemason thing. It's many things, right? So, since she did that, I cannot stop seeing this. Obviously, I've seen the cross compasses, but this other one, I can't stop seeing it anywhere, right? Now, we know it's to do with light. We know all of the connotations about this image. Seen this?
Nice.
I don't know what this is. And here's something which has been popping up on Telegram, which has been absolutely, what's the word? It's been...
The symbol of Sabnik.
Enthralling me. There's a group called the Great Awakening, and they're using this symbol as their Telegram group. Now let's read it. The symbol of Sabnik. The Noah prophesies that the ruler of the rulers and the prophet of the prophets will become conscious on December 21st, 2020, when we know when that was. The day on which Zeus reunites with the primordial force and the time of Orion begins. Now, is it just me? Does that sound like the rise of the Antichrist?
Yeah, it sounds pretty occult.
Yeah. Go to the next one.
We are the Christians of today. Notice the date at the top. Was that a date? We don't know if it's a date.
Don't know. Like the Christians, we were threatened by the Roman dictators. They threatened us, and it will get worse.
Worse. Just like
the first Christians 2,000 years ago, the army is with us. The army and even the police, they all bear against.
They bear against the regime our symbols, as they did in the times of the early Christians. They are all with us. The regime knows it and therefore tries to replace soldiers and police officers with robots and drones. They don't trust any human being that is not made by themselves, as we do. This is the war between these two ideologies, either to trust in humans or in data. We go for humans, they go for data. But we won't make it because we won't allow them to. We won't allow them to replace humans. When the time comes and you call for all of those who wear our symbols and they will follow us, this will be the moment of our victory. Sabnik.
See, this. I don't know what to make of this because
there's number 3 at the top there.
Mate, this is all over Telegram, right?
Very strange.
That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, please go on.
Well, I picked this up from Mark Passio, and he's really, really interesting. Mark Passio, he's
big Passio fans here, mate.
Massive Passio fan, and one of his things he was talking about the octagon, 8-sided shape.
Yes,
being around on the policeman's hat. If you look at it's the
that's right. We've discussed
8-sided star, and you make the 8-sided shape, and it's the sign of the
cube.
The double cube, hypercube. Thank you very much. Which is the symbol of slavery.
Yeah, the ongoing slavery.
Yeah, ongoing slavery.
Yeah, and this is.
But yeah, and I agree with everything that both you just said. But my understanding of this symbol is either of Lucifer, of Freemasonry, of light, or of geometry. Whereas these two posts, or these two memes, seem to be insinuating that this symbol may have been reappropriated for some kind of resistance against what they're calling the Roman Empire exemplifies.
Right.
This is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have not seen this symbol used like this before.
I think this is something we're going to have to look into.
We need to look at what this Sabink is.
Yeah, don't forget all symbols are all reconstituted by different organisations.
Do you know how much jip I've got for using the Rising Sun logo?
Oh, really?
Mate, so many people in the comment sections have told me that I'm an imposter. I'm a dark occultist. Because I'm using the Rising Sun. Hey, you think you're doing a cool show? You've got Rising Sun on your chest. What, you think I don't know what the Rising Sun symbol means?
We're light occultists. We bring the light.
I schooled them. I said, listen, if you had a proper understanding of symbolism, then you would understand the way the symbols work. You would understand that it's in the intention. You understand that just because the Nazis took a swastika doesn't make it an evil symbol.
No symbol's inherently evil. Not even a pentagram. A pentagram's a very positive symbol. Not even turn it upside down, it's pretty negative.
Not even a Solomon star.
I'm going to get onto pentagrams later. Shush.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, mate, we always do this. Wolfie, we're already there. Don't worry. Right, next up. Right now, whoever sent me this, I don't know who you are.
Oh yeah, I saw this in our little group. Yeah.
No, this is from like the dancing nurses video, the dancing doctors video.
Sure.
This is from RTE. Stay at home. So this is a broadcast on an Irish show involving emergency services, telling people to stay at home. This is very recent. Let me go down to the video. Watch.
Jerusalema, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalema, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami.
That's enough.
Right. Which should we point out first? What was the first word of the song?
I don't know.
It was Jerusalem.
Was it? I was. Yeah. Let's play it again. Play the.
Let's play it
Play
again.
it, yeah. Play it again. Let's check it out.
Michael.